Welcome to Bank Rolex Challenge with a Twist. I am Josh Guindon, also known as Josh Guindon Poker, and Salem Witch, EMD, World Poker Tour Club WPT Ambassador. This is my first project as a World Poker Tour Ambassador. Want to provide you a mix of entertainment and strategy-based content. I'll be breaking down hands, providing hand histories, and strategy content, insights into how I've played to go on the SunRun. The World Poker Tour has announced me as an ambassador earlier in the year, primarily based on two things. Number one is the SunRun, which is the culmination of 5 World Poker Tour main events in which I have cashed in all 5 main events, including one final table, almost 2 final tables, but we made one final table, and a $100,000 bounty we pulled. My friend ran the numbers on these 3 events of the 5 tournaments, 5 cashes, 1 final table, and the $100,000 bounty, and the numbers come out to roughly 1 in 20 million. My other friend estimates my start is the best start on the World Poker Tour by any poker player in the history of the World Poker Tour. Quite the claim. We have played above average, we've studied hard, and we've had variance on our side. The second thing is our relationship with the Club WPT, which began in 2022. We have now won multiple packages to live events, including the World Poker Tour Venetian, our first event in the summer of 2022, where we finished 48th of about 1,200 entrants. Then we played on the Virgin Voyages, finishing 11th of 293. We also won seats to Prime events and have cashed in Prime tournaments. The World Poker Tour is highlighting the path I have made as a common, non-professional, everyday player to immense success on the highest stages of the World Poker Tour. I'm excited to bring you not only this series, but many other projects on my YouTube channel at Josh Guindon Poker. Please like and subscribe, interact with me, comment, send me messages, provide feedback if you're interested. So here we arrive at the beautiful Boston Encore Casino. This is my home casino. We started playing here since the grand opening in 2019. Many fun games here, excellent action. We started playing here with Rampage Poker from the early days, $1, $2, and 1-3 no limit hold'em. Fun fact that I just realized within the last couple of days, so the current all-time top 2 best poker players in the World Poker Tour history, as it currently stands with 4 World Poker Tour main event titles each, Darren Elias and Brian Altman, both hail from Boston. So I've got big shoes to fill. Anyways, here we arrive ready to film episode 1. So here is the prize. This is the crown jewel. We did a version of this on our own. Last year we played exclusively $2, $5 no limit hold'em at Boston Encore. Our goal was to get to $10,000 and then purchase a Rolex. We got to $10,000 after 17 sessions, and we purchased this blue face Datejust Rolex. This challenge is similar but different. This is the Bank Rolex challenge with a twist. We will have to wait until the end to see what the surprise is. We will focus on $2, $5 no limit hold'em primarily for this challenge. However, we may play some $1, $3 no limit hold'em, $5, $10 no limit hold'em, or $2 pot limit Omaha. Here we sit down with $1,000, buying in for the maximum at a $2, $5 no limit hold'em game. It does have a $300 minimum buy-in. We're excited to get this challenge going, and we start episode 1. On June 18th, 2025, that was a Wednesday. We started at 11:15 p.m. So hand number 1, the very first hand dealt, we looked down at a very playable hand. The dealer actually asked us, hey, do you want the blinds to pass or do you want to be dealt in? We said, yeah, sure, we'll be dealt in. So hand number 1, we had ace 10 of hearts. This is a $2, $5 no limit hold'em cash game session. Mainly it's a 9-handed table. We're playing 8-handed right now, so we were first act at an 8-handed table. So we looked down at ace of hearts, 10 of hearts, very playable hand. I raise it to 20. Everyone folds except the small blind calls and the big blind folds. Flop is 10, 5, 5, 2 diamonds and a club. For me, this is a must bet spot for value. You got top pair, top kicker, fairly wide range. Calling from the small blind. Fairly set of strong hands, but pretty wide range here. A lot of which you can get value from, including they have some two big Broadway card hands. They've got some pairs, Less likely do they have Jack, this sort of stuff. I suppose some 5-6 suited, or Ace 5 suited at a much smaller frequency, something to keep in mind, but extremely unlikely with our specific holding. Of course, the ace blocks ace 5, and 5-6 would be pretty rare, and of course there's 2 5s on the board. Anyway, so I bet 30, and he calls. So now, the turn is a 4 of clubs, so we got 10, 5, 5, and a 4, 2 diamonds and 2 clubs. I bet 85 here. Essentially, I'm targeting worst 10s, some mid pairs that are trying to be sticky, both flush draws, obviously. That was a good place to size up here. Wet dynamic board, and he calls. So now the river is a 9 of spades. So I decided to check here. He checks it back. So, I mean, all the draws miss, which he's not calling anyways. I think about his range. Most of it's either missed draws, weak middle pairs to some extent, a few combos of weaker 10, like Jack 10, Queen 10, King 10, especially suited varieties, but slow played trips to a lesser extent. We specifically only get value from those 10-handed combos, which are very few since we hold a 10. All the draws fold, like I said, smaller pairs almost certainly fold. And when you're thinking about value betting, you need to think about many combos, many sets of hands that you beat. When thinking of the overall range, there are very few hands I could beat, and I get called by worse, obviously, the definition of value betting. So we like to check back. Just so happens he shows us one of the few hands that we likely could have gotten additional river value from. He shows King 10 offsuit. Shout out to Mario, who I played this hand against. He's a financial analyst to some extent. I don't know his exact job. He works in the financial industry from the town over, from the current town we're living in, Boston suburb. It's actually where we are looking to move. Very good kid, 25-year-old kid, sharp kid, winning poker player. This was the first hand I played with him. I had no idea who he was, but played I believe a couple hours with him. He's really good guy, and winning poker player. It was good to see. Likely a little loose of a call from small blind versus this size under the gun, especially versus a good player, which he had no idea who I was. I almost certainly would fold King 10 offsuit from the small blind, from the under the gun raise, 8-handed versus a winning player. But it was our first hand. We took down a small to medium sized pot. So, all right, on to hand number 2. So, hand number 2, the straddle is on. We're playing $2, $5 now with a $10 straddle. I'm in the small blind. I look down at queen, 2 red queens. And the flop is, well, first of all, it's a straddle, so I'm in the small blind. So I make it 30, 35 pre. Both the big blind and the straddle player both call. So we're all essentially in there. And it's 105 going to the flop. The flop is King 3 deuce, 1 diamond, and 1 club, 1 heart, King 3 deuce, rainbow. I got queens here. I could go either way, and I like to check it in this specific instance. I think you should be betting here sometimes, calling here sometimes, and so I check, and the other 2 players check through. I think it's hard to be results oriented, but I think I'd probably like a small bet here. Functions a little bit better, clears out the junk, gets marginal value to stick around. Rarely will you be up against a king, but so I could go either way. I don't think this is an always or never spot. But in this specific instance, I checked. Anyways, the turn now is a 3 of spades. Seems unlikely the players have a 3. They have several draws here with hands like ace 2 spades, ace 2 suited, ace 4 suited, maybe some 5-6 suited, some weaker kings, lots of junk. I bet 55 on the turn. Big blind folds, straddle calls. So now there's 250 in the pot going to the river. River is a 6 of hearts. Basically a blank. I check, not really looking to give up. And the straddle player fires out 100. We think it over. Flush draws miss. He has some kings. Some bad players do this with like 6-5 suited. He still has middling pairs, some threes, rarely, mostly weighted. What I really put him on was some kings or air. So I knew I'm going to lose here a lot with a king that he likely has, or he's got air somewhat. So given the pot odds, at least about 3-1 on my money, calling 100 for a pot of 415 total, we like to call, and we get shown 5 of clubs, 3 of clubs for trips. So we lose a small one, small to medium sized one again. Now on to hand 3. So we are now on the button. We look down, this is still first couple orbits. We look down at King Jack offsuit on the button. Low Jack, or what I call position 6, if I'm position 9 on the button, is a younger / middle-aged Asian male. Been fairly loose overall. Overall fairly passive. Limited sample size. I hadn't seen him play much, to be frank. But he opens up to 15. The hijack is a Caucasian male, appears younger than me, which is impressive. I'm giving him an age range of 15 to 23 years old, weighted towards higher, assuming he is playing legally. And he flats to 15, so it's on to me. We like to squeeze here, so we make it 75 as a squeeze. And seems like a good spot to squeeze. Thought it was nice. Low Jack calls. The 15 to 23-year-old Caucasian male folds. So the flop now is King 10 8, and we 2 diamonds, 10 King of diamonds, 10 of diamonds, 8 of clubs. We bet for many reasons here. I think this is a mandatory bet spot. We bet for value against his range. We also need protection from all the draws, benefit from an opportunity to get information. Go to the kind of the next level. If you want to think about high level play, we have a range and nut advantage from our 3-bet pre-flop. The player that opens small and then just flat in our 3-bet has somewhat of a capped range by opening small and flatting pre. We have a vast majority of premium hands. For all of those reasons, we like to bet. And somewhat larger sizing, we bet 85 into the pot of 170. Player snap folds. I'm kind of torn on sizing here in cash game. On one hand, you can go larger, say 60 to 80% pot for all those reasons. However, you don't want to scare away marginal value hands. You're targeting for value. I settled on roughly half pot. If you told me you'd want a larger bet, that would be okay too. So take down a small to medium sized one yet again. So hand number 4 now. We are in the big blind. We look down at 9 of clubs, 3 of clubs, so a suited weak hand. And it folds around to the cutoff, who's been fairly active, and they make it 15. I decide I'll see a flop, so I call 15. If he makes anything bigger, I'm folding. In theory, probably a fold pre-flop, even at this size, against competent opponents. He seemed a little bit exploitable. So anyway, so 10 more for a pot of 30 plus. I'll call and see a flop. It was suited. So anyway, so the flop was ace spades, 9 of spades, 2 of diamonds. He bets 35. I've got 9-3. No real backdoors, but I've got a pair. It's hard to make a pair, no limit hold'em, and we have the second best one, so we call. I was 100 in the pot, go to the turn. Turn is a 4 of diamonds. It doesn't really help us much, doesn't really hurt us either. So it goes check on the turn. River's an 8 of hearts, pretty much a blank. We like to go for our showdown value. We show our second pair and take down a small pot. So that was a nice one. Also had a couple big Broadway cards, something like that. So hand number 5. Now the straddle is on yet again. We've got $2, $5, $10 action here. Folds around to middle position. The aforementioned young / middle-aged Asian male. He makes it 60. $10 straddle. He just opens to 60. Interesting. This was the same player from our second hand. He hasn't really played much since that hand, interestingly. Not sure if he's card dead or what was going on. But we have 9 black 9s, 9 of hearts, 9 of clubs, 9 of spades in the small blind. We're each about $1,000 deep, $1,000 effective. 9-9 facing a 60 or 6x straddle raise. What do we do here? Do we fold? Seems nitty. Do we raise? Seems overly ambitious. Might just be lighting money on fire. We have a strong hand, by my estimation. We have a good calling hand. A lot of set potential. We can navigate. Tougher. It's a little bit tougher out of position, but we aren't necessarily going to check fold on every board. So I suppose this large sizing means, some hands like ace king offsuit, some hands like jack jack or 10-10 specifically. You'll see this often. However, so now we go to the flop. It is king 10-3 rainbow. Really no backdoor potential. I guess back runner backdoor straight for the dummy end of the straight. Anyways, so this player, his first act, he bets out 75. So if we assign a range of ace king and jack jack and 10-10 pre, obviously there's wider hands here. This is a horrendous flop for our specific holding. We can get over briefly, being that we're a father of 2 kids under 4 years of age. Our internal dialogue activates. Disney's Frozen. Song starts playing in our head. Let it go, let it go. So we decide to fold. Anyways, quick fun fact. So in 3rd grade, I was chosen 1 out of maybe 60 students to sing Silent Night solo in front of a group of about 400 people. I was a tiny kid in my class in 3rd grade. I was probably 7 or 8 years old. Pretty good singer then. I mean, we had tryouts, and I was chosen out of 60-some people to sing a solo in front of 400 people. Anyways, I hit puberty, and I lost my singing voice. Absolutely, pretty bleak now. So I'll try to spare you in the future, but I can't promise there will be no more singing. But whatever comes to my mind is just going on here. So back to the poker hand histories. Hand number 6. So once again, the straddle is on. We're up to $2, $5, $10, and there are 4 limpers to me on the button. We look down at ace queen off on the button. Pretty favorable situation. I love ISO raising. It's a really great tactic. So we raise it up to 75. A very capable Asian female who tells me she speaks Cantonese, so I'm thinking Southeast Asia. Wonder if she's from Macau, Hong Kong area, maybe. I don't know. Hopefully I can get to Macau. This is one of the gambling meccas of the world. I hear it's kind of like the Las Vegas of Asia, but some really big, juicy games, fun action. So that is on the to-do list. I should have picked her brain about it now in retrospect. Next time, I'm sure I'll see her around. Anyways, she's in the small blind. Just to recap, several limpers, I think 4 limpers from a straddled pot. I'm on the button with ace queen offsuit. I make it 75. She makes it 250 from the small blind. Instantly after my 75, she makes it 250. We've seen her around the casino before. I've got no specific prior action against her. Everyone seems to know her. We assume she's a solid regular. So I kind of assign her a range of jack jack plus, maybe 10-10 some degree, but ace king, king king, queen queen, jack jack, ace queen some. My hand, ace queen off, performs poorly against this range. She has maybe only 150 behind. I mean, ace king's a really strong hand. Ace queen off is a strong hand, but I like to fold. The parking lot hand, we just let it go. She says, I had 10-10, thank you for the fold. And so we move on to the next hand. If I had knew she had 8-10-10, would have called. But it's close. If you look at the EV, run the sim on this one, it's going to be really close. In the moment, I felt like it was. It's went with my read. I like playing. I like knowing the numbers, but you got to kind of feel out the situation. I just thought I was behind. I just don't see her doing that with ace jack sort of thing, king queen. I didn't really feel like she was doing that. She's not that type of player. Anyway, so we made a read, went with it, and let it go. Let me know what you guys think in the comments if you would have played that one differently. Hand number 7. The straddle is on $2, $5, $10, and now I have king queen offsuit. I'm first to act. We're now playing 9-handed, so I'm under the gun truly. I raise it up to 35, and the previously mentioned Asian male calls. The previously mentioned 15 to 23-year-old Caucasian male calls.
there are, the straddle folds, so it goes three ways to the flop. So $110 to the flop. The flop is 7-7-3 rainbow. I check. Asian male leads out for 55. He'd been leading out a lot. I call. Turn is the queen of hearts. I check. The same player now makes it 85. I call once again. The river is a 7. I was thinking about it, I think this is a nice lead spot, so I decided to lead. Lead for 155. He calls pretty quickly. We take down a nice pot. We show our king queen and we're good. He mucks. We didn't see what he had. So we take down a $750 pot. It's a pretty big one. That was a nice pot. So the next hand that's notable is hand number 8. We take down hand number 8 is straddle is on now. It's $2, $5, $10 once again. We're in the big blind this time. We've got ace deuce offsuit. It checks us, and once again the straddle is on, so there's another blind behind us. We complete. It goes three ways: small blind, big blind, and straddle. So are all in to the flop. Only $30 in this pot, and the flop is 994 rainbow. The action checks through. The turn is an interesting one. 3 of hearts. So still no flush draw. Still a rainbow board. We elect to lead, kind of getting after it a bit. Ace deuce on 9943. We bet the pot on the turn, and they fold. We take down a small pot. All right, this is one that made the session. Got a massive pot alert here. Massive pot. Send the sound the alarm. Anyways, this is hand 9. So, nice gentleman. Middle, upper years of age, directly to our left, talks about being retired and how he loves coming down from pretty far away, neighboring 2 states up to the north. He decides to drive past several smaller casinos to our casino. We kind of start to get to chatting. Really nice guy. So doing some small talk. He'd been there maybe 10 or 15 minutes when this hand develops. He saw my coin and kind of inquires about my business card, this sort of thing. We're just kind of chatting. I don't think he fully understood what I was doing or what kind of player I was. Anyways, so let's see what the action is here on hand number 9, massive pot. So the low jack limps, the hijack limps. We are on the button, and we look at king of hearts, 9 of hearts. So we make it 30 on the button, and the OMC in the small blind calls. The low jack, previously aforementioned Asian male, calls, and so now we're going 3 ways to a flop. There's $100 in the pot. The flop is a beautiful king of clubs, 9 of hearts, 7 of clubs. Let me just look at this. No, sorry, I have the suits wrong. The flop was king of hearts, king of clubs, 9 of clubs, 7 of hearts, and we have king of hearts, 9 of hearts. So we've got top 2 pair, backdoor flush draw, OMC checks, Asian male checks, checks to me, 100 in the pot. I bet 35. OMC makes it 75. Now, the low jack calls a 75. Interesting. I like to make it 250 here for many reasons. Value, obviously, from top 2. You get some more information. You're protecting. Often don't want to go 3 ways in a really big bloated pot. It does help that I'm in position, but kind of, as I say, lack visibility. I think this specific hand, just plays better heads up if I could. If someone wants to get in at this point, we'd probably go with it, most likely, depending on the action. Anyways, so now after I make it 250, the OMC makes it 500. The other male folds. The 500 I decide to call. I say, little gamesmanship, I say, I think I know what you have. In my mind, I'm thinking 7-7. I'm just lasered in. I think he's probably got a set. Of course, he has some combo draws like Jack 10 of clubs. He just told me how he final tabled the daily tournament that was going on. Seemed like quite a savvy player, pretty tricky. He told me he also cashed in the tournament earlier in that day, so he came to play. He seemed pretty experienced. Still have him tags at OMC, but I feel like he could be going for mainly a value hand. I don't think he's bluffing here with this many raises, this action. Anyway, so I have top 2 pair. I'm not going anywhere. If he has a set, I have outs. If he is drawing, I want him to pay. So anyways, I decided to call the 500. The King of Diamonds is the turn, and we have 1175 in the pot going to the turn. Let's go. So we turn the top full house, the Nutter Butters, you know, living the dream. You kind of get one of those feelings, just like, all right, this feels good, right? A little dopamine surge. And so I have $800 back. He has about 1,000. I want to ensure all the money gets in the middle by the river. He actually checks to me, and I love a small bet here. You can't check. I think you gotta continue. You gotta bet here. So I reach for 275 and slide it out, and he doesn't think long before making the call. Now we've got $1,725 going to the river, and the river is a blank. It's a 6 of diamonds. So all the draws miss. I have to hope he somehow has ace king, pocket sevens for a smaller full house, or some marginal hand he's priced in to call with as big and bloated as the pot is. I have 525 left, and he covers me. So after thinking for maybe 15 seconds, I announce I'm all in. He's deep in the tank, a couple of minutes. He shrugs. Eventually, you can tell he's kind of him and hawing. He says, "Will you show me if I fold?" And I decide not to answer him. After about 2 minutes, he says he can't fold this specific hand. We have the nuts, so we're excited. He tank calls, and he shows pocket aces. So he tried to get tricky pre-flop. He says when the king hit the turn, he knew he should have folded. So we scoop a massive one here, family. So $2,775. So it was funny, right after I'm kind of accumulating the chips, the dealer knows the challenge. She says, announces to the table that I must get up and leave. I just kind of laughed. Gave her a significant tip and some friendly banter. There's a little bit of further inquiry from the dealer about the challenge, about the World Poker Tour Club WPT ambassadorship, about me being a father, about my day job, and so I decided to play a couple more orbits, mainly to soften the blow of the hit and run after a massive hand, and did finally announce to the gentleman that I would be back. He would have a chance to get his money back, and he kind of laughed and he agreed that was a good idea. Anyway, so that was the final interesting hand. So very successful session. So we started the session at 11:15 p.m. Even after those 2 orbits, we get up at 1:15 a.m., so just under 2 hours. So we are in for $1,000, out for $2,830, or a profit of $1,830. Over 18% of the way to the goal for the Bank Rolex Challenge with a Twist. Little only just 2 hours in play, so insane, $915 per hour. Guarantee you though that will not stay up, family. So we're going to try to make it as few sessions as possible. I think we announced earlier that if we get 16 sessions or under, because our last Bank Rolex Challenge took us 17 sessions to get to the magical number. If we get to that amount of sessions, 16 sessions or under, and get to the magical 10,000, then we will be giving away a substantial prize. Very significant. You'll want to stay tuned. I'm not going to announce it quite yet. There will be an announcement for sure. I've said within the first 3 Bank Rolex Challenge episodes, this will be announced. We'll stick to that. Let's hope we can get that going. Definitely within 10 sessions, I think is a reasonable goal. So yeah, you're not going to want to miss that video and that announcement. I can tell you for certain right now, you need to be subscribed to the channel to be eligible for this substantial prize that'll be given away. So this is the first video, Bank Rolex Challenge. Let me know in the comments. Message me. Let me know what you think. Let me know what spots you would take in those situations. If you'd play it differently. Please subscribe to the channel, Josh Guindon Poker. We'll be providing entertainment videos. This Bank Rolex Challenge with a Twist. This series will be going on. There'll be many giveaways to live poker, World Poker Tour events, emphasizing live poker. We'll also be doing live streams featuring real-time hand breakdowns. I just did a live stream of a table, a deep run. I made a 1% top 1% finish of a small tournament we just played. There'll be strategy content. I'm going to call them bite-sized strategy content. These are going to be easy to digest strategy tips that I've used during the SunRun. One of my poker mates suspects that my start of the first 5 Poker Tour main events, including 5 cashes, 1 final table, top 50 in the first 4 events, might be the best start on the World Poker Tour by any player ever. I don't know if that's true. It's possible, but just to be considered in that realm is surreal. So I'm hoping I can give back a lot, and I think I can provide some strategy about tips and small strategies or things I've done differently in order to complete the SunRun. And I feel like we're building. I don't think it's over yet. I think we're just getting started. Just had a substantial score online, mid to upper 5-figure score online. So we got a lot of momentum heading into the fall. Bay 101 will definitely be out there. World Poker Tour main event championship at the Win in December. We're also going to be looking to play a substantial live event in November also, TBD. Last part of the channel, we'll be having a call-in show. Send us your hand histories, interesting hand histories, to joshguindonpoker@gmail.com. Any spots you've played from live events or tournaments in which you have an interesting hand, you were questioning a strategy tip, how would you have played it differently given the situation, what was going through your head. We'd love to pick your brain. We've got a great panel, and we're going to have some celebrity guests and panelists too, helping us break down the strategy, guiding you all through multi-table tournament hand breakdowns. I think Bart Hansen, Crush Live Poker, but this is going to be for multi-table tournaments, so it's going to be a fun one. That'll be the first episode we're looking to get out in July, so keep an eye on that. So like I said, SunRun is going on, World Poker Tour. I'm the new World Poker Tour ambassador, Club WPT ambassador, first one ever on Club WPT. This is based on a couple things. SunRun is the main thing, based on my start that I've had so far that I briefly alluded to. I think it's heating up. We're getting going. We've got some good momentum, a lot of good support, fun things coming down the pipeline. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment, let me know what you guys think. Send me some messages. Love to hear from you guys. Look forward to interacting with you all. Talk soon. Thanks.
All right, session 1 in for 1,000, out for 2,830. Net profit 1,832.
So this was the first episode. We played 2 hours total, and we had a net profit of $1,830. And so here we are walking to the cage. We cash out. The cashier inquires about our business card, and we show him the poker chip. So we bought in for $1,000, and we cashed out for $2,830. So once again, this was the Bank Rolex Challenge with a twist. I want to quickly go over the rules of the challenge. So each session, we will have a goal of $1,000 net profit per session. Once we get to $1,000 profit of a session, we will stop within the orbit. The session will stop if we get to $1,000 net profit or 4 hours, whichever comes first. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, Josh Guindon Poker. Josh Guindon Poker is also my handle for all my social media accounts, X, Instagram, YouTube. So a fun announcement is we will announce within the first 3 episodes of the Bank Rolex Challenge with a Twist a major seat giveaway. You'll make sure you'll want to tune in. You will need to be subscribed to be eligible. We will be giving away a live seat to a World Poker Tour live event associated with the December Win World Poker Tour World Championship. More details to come in the next one of the next 2 episodes. So once again, welcome to Josh Guindon Poker. Here we'll be focusing on giveaways, entertainment, and strategy. We'll be doing hand histories. We'll be doing regular live stream videos, breaking down hands, and showing strategies that we have used during the SunRun. We're queuing up the first call-in show with fellow Club WPT Stream Team family members Brad Braulio Nesser and Meta John M. John McLaughlin. This will be a call-in show focusing on live multi-table tournament poker tournaments with breaking down hand strategies and spots and tournaments. Think similar to Bart Hansen with Crush Live Poker, where he breaks down cash game hands, but we'll be breaking down tournament hands and in big spots. So send us in your hand histories to joshgindonpoker@gmail.com. We've got a lot coming down the pike, so make sure you turn in. Let's go. That's a wrap on episode 1 of the Rolex Challenge with a Twist. Episode 2 is in the works. We had another winning session, episode 2. It's a banger. It's got crazy action. You definitely won't want to miss out. So I'll see you all soon. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.